This video is dedicated to Anowon Iroas. Antonio, thank you. Phylath World Sculptor versus Anowon the Ruin Thief. We will keep that because I like the 2 lands into Nature's Law. And we'll just start things off with a forest, because we might be able to get into a land for the Nature's Law next turn. And then we can potentially make landfall with the fetch and Valakut Exploration. Probably not. Alright, well, Blighted Woodland, yeah, that gets us there. So let's go Nature's Law. Oh, actually, we'll still need to... we'll still need to make red, won't we? So let's go for a shock land in tapped. Try not to go for the non-basics too much in this deck, but we've already gotten into a couple. Ancient Tomb for our opponent, and we get into Collective Unconscious, so let's go for the Valakut Exploration, and then we can play Arid Mesa, which will exile the top card of our library, and we've got a Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, under there. We'll probably just go for a mountain with that. In fact, let's do it now, just in case we manage to get into a Sol Ring or something. So make a basic mountain. Nope, that is Beastmaster Ascension, so we'll just pass the turn like that. And those will go into the graveyard. We will shock our opponent. And it is Anowon, the Ruin Thief, from our opponent. Might hold on to Finale of Devastation if we can. Yeah, Birds of Paradise encourages me to go for Birds of Paradise and then hold up the Beast Within onto there. We'll do it during their turn, maybe get counter magic out of their hand. Finale of Devastation will be better because it allows us to search for graveyards. Search graveyards for creatures, so if we're getting milled, yeah, then it might be worth holding off on that. We'll go for Beast Within on our opponent's turn, I think. And they just go in with Anowon the Ruin Thief, so let's go for the Beast Within. See if they want to counter. They do not want to counter. Instead going for Oars of Racketeers. It deals combat damage to a player. That player discards a card. And if we, I was going to say, if we get into a land here, we can chump block that. So let's play the forest. And there is a Prismatic Omen there. Don't think we need Prismatic Omen. So let's just go for our commander instead. And make a few plant tokens. Should make it more difficult for them to swing in at us. The Prismatic Omen goes back and deals a point of damage to them. And then it is Ruinous Path onto our commander. Do we want to put it in the command zone? We do. So let's just block with a plant on the rogue so that we don't have to discard anything. And it's Ramunap Excavator, alright, I quite like that. So let's go for the Ramunap Excavator. And that allows us to make a land every turn thanks to Arid Mesa. Okay, well, Mana Crypt, I don't mind casting that. We get that off the top with the Vedalken, or the Valakut Exploration even. Let's go for a crack. And we'll grab ourselves a mountain. Now we can actually go, thanks to the Mana Crypt, what's that? That's just a land. We can actually go Finale of Devastation in for Azusa here. So yeah, that Mana Crypt was a really good get for us. We'll just put 4 into X, grab ourselves the Azusa, and now we can make even more lands a turn. What is that? That is Blasphemous Act, don't really care about that. We'll play a land from exile with the Valakut Exploration. Farhaven Elf we can't get into, unfortunately. I think we've made all 3 of our land drops. So let's just crack this one. And we'll grab ourselves a mountain, making landfall again. And this time getting into Arcane Signet we could go for, so let's crack the Arid Mesa as well. make a mountain again. And got rid of a mountain that time, so let's play the Arcane Signet. And that can be our turn, yeah, getting a lot of use out of the Valakut Exploration there. We'll Lightning Bolt them here as well. Anowon the Ruin Thief coming down again, not all that worried about Anowon. And they are swinging in with a 3-3 and a 4-3. We'll just chump with the plant on here again, because I think we're going in for our commander next turn. We lose the Mana Crypt flip, going down to 17. Alright, a Vastwood Surge to put a bunch of plus counters on things. Let's go for our commander. And we'll get more plant tokens this time. Play a fetch out of the graveyard. And we'll put some plus counters on the plant that remains without summoning sickness. Putting a Mororg, Fury of Akoum, underneath the Valakut Exploration. Should be able to cast that this turn actually. Let's play the Arid Mesa as well. And maybe we just pile up counters on the plant. Okay, getting into a Valakut. So let's play that. And we'll put some plus counters on a plant with summoning sickness this time, because we do want some decent blockers. Now then, we've got lightning bolts to throw around if we like. I think we'll just turn that plant in sideways first of all, and then we'll use the fetches as combat tricks. Gotten into a Fabled Passage as well, by the way, so that'll be really good next turn. We don't need to take life to the fetches anymore if we've got Fabled Passage. And that'll get us into green mana as well. Yeah, I think we're okay just holding on to what we've got now. We'll shock our opponents again. I bet we've done a lot of damage with that Valakut Exploration. Alright, a Cyclonic Rift. Let's... how much damage are they going to deal to us? I think we can throw... Actually, we can just throw a couple of lightning bolts directly at them. They've taken 2 damage to the Ancient Tomb. So we'll crack that. Point the Valakut at them. The Exploration will get a card put underneath it, which we will be able to make use of next turn if we don't win here. A Gruul Signet goes under there. And then we'll crack the Bloodstained Mire, and this will be a Lightning Bolt as well. So yeah, I wasn't too sure how the Valakut Exploration was going to go for us during this game, but turns out it did a lot of damage and it got us into some good cards there. So we'll say, oh yes and yield. Our opponent very valiantly is playing it out, so a big thank you to them for that. And there we are. Yeah, it was looking a little bit sketchy earlier on. Luckily we managed to get into the lands that we needed. We had some bigger spells for the late game here, but I don't think we would have had chance to play those. Yeah, really making a lot of use out of Valakut Exploration. Hopefully you all enjoyed that one. That was fairly fast, so I think we can get another game in on this video. That's a tempting one. Valakut to start things off, and then we've got mana. We'd need to get into a green off the top though. Yeah, we'll risk it, I think. I should really mulligan that one, but I think we'll risk it. Alright, well there's the Valakut Exploration. There's every chance that we could get into a green mana off of that, as long as we keep drawing lands. And that means we might be able to get into green off of that. Although we'd need to make multiple lands a turn, wouldn't we, in order to rely on that. Well, there's the forest, so yeah, I feel pretty good about keeping our hand now. Let's go for Sakura Tribelder. And we'll just crack that straight away. Don't think, well, there's a chance we should worry about haste, but it's faster to do it this way. A Dwarven Miner. Destroy a target non-basic land. That probably means our Valakut is going down. Let's play Cultivate. And we'll go for a couple of mountains. Might still be able to make use of Valakut if we can play it out of the bin at some point. But we'll go up a few lands here at least. And there we go. They take us down a land. I think we're going in for Nissa, Vital Force. Yeah, let's go for a forest. Tap down our lands. Untap. That one I don't think will have Summoning Sickness. Oh, it gives it haste anyway. Not that it matters, it's just going to be a blocker. And we're going for the emblem next turn, hopefully. Ancient Tomb from our opponent now. They're doing a nice job of ramping. And that is Aeromancer's Cage from M19. Exile target non-land permanent. so it's pretty much a 4-mana O-ring. Roiling Regrowth, okay. Let's go for Valakut Exploration here, I think. And then we can drop ourselves a Gruul Turf and see if there's any 2-mana spell on top. Bounce the Forest. They got into Sword of Fire and Ice, by the way. Blasphemous Act, yeah, not going to be making use of that, so let's just go for the 3 visits. And we'll be getting our commander out next turn, I think. Another Forest there, ready for when we get Ramunap or, what is it called? The Crucible of Worlds. There's the 6-mana Elemental now as well, that lets us play lands out of the graveyard. Destroying our Gruul Turf, which means they're not swinging in with the Sword of Fire and Ice at least. Then going for Outpost Siege, that is going to be more card draw for them. They're down to 1 card in hand. Let's drop ourselves. Yeah, we'll just go for a mountain here. Okay, Rhythm of the Wild. I don't mind the idea of haste, actually. Yeah. Although this is only... Yeah, it's non-tokens, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm not as worried about that, actually. We're not likely to see counter magic against this player, so let's just go in for the Phylath. They will have protection from our commander, but they won't have protection from the plants. Exile Umezawa's Jitte, that could be useful to them. They're going to have to start swinging in with this, though. Playing the Jitte. And then Sword of Fire and Ice and the Jitte go on there. And then Grand Abolisher as well. So we're going to have to go Roiling Regrowth on our own turn if we want to go for it at all. Let's just block some damage. It stops the Sword of Fire and Ice triggering. They get the Umezawa's Jitte trigger either way. So we might as well save some damage and some triggers here. Ashnod's Altar is going to be a lot of... Yeah, that's going to be a lot of mana. If we're going to lose the plants anyway, we could always go for that. We could sacrifice our Phylath and just play it again straight away. Let's go for Verdant Catacombs. Pile some plus counters on a plant. Here is a Birds of Paradise, which dies to the Jitte, so I'm not too worried about that. And in response, they are going to put a -1/-1 debuff on the plant before it gets plus counters on it. So let's crack the Verdant Catacombs in response, try and get them to remove the last Jitte counter. And we'll try and save the same plant, because that way we get to keep more plant tokens. Yeah, so just losing the 1 plant token there. Don't get any counters, unfortunately. And what did we get here? That is a Lotus Cobra, alright. That's pretty good, but it dies to the Jitte as well. So let's drop Ashnod's Altar. And then if we kill off a couple of plant tokens, yeah, it'd be sacrifice Phylath and a plant. And then that would be the commander tax. Pay 2 to get Phylath straight back out. We'd have 2 mana held up for either Roiling Regrowth, or we could go in for the Lotus Cobra. Yeah, so let's swing in first. Might as well get some damage on them. They've got protection from red anyway, and they're not going to block with the Grand Abolisher, I don't think. So let's sacrifice the Phylath, and sack a couple of plants, and we will cast our Phylath again. Bringing Phylath down for a bunch more plant tokens, and let's sacrifice one of the plants with Summoning Sickness. Tap a green, go for Lotus Cobra. The more threats that they have to point the Jitte at, the better. And then we can sacrifice another plant. We'll go in for the Roiling Regrowth. Can't do it on our opponent's turn anyway. And we'll sacrifice a forest. Get into a mountain and a forest, which will trigger everything twice. Let's go Lotus Cobra on the stack first, because I don't know what mana we want to make with that until we see what we grab with Valakut Exploration. And we will put some plus counters on different plants to make it more difficult for our opponent to swing in. And what did we get there? Mina and Den we could play. They'll have protection from it. Yeah, I think I might go for Mina and Den. because it is another land to make. So let's make green and red. Sacrifice another plant token, play the Mina and Den, which allows us to play... We'll go for the forest because the Blighted Woodland is a sacrifice or a kill target for this thing. So we'll do the same again, Lotus Cobra, then Valakut, and a bunch of plus counters can go on a different plant. We've now got Exploration, so let's make a green, and we'll play the Exploration, which allows us to play the Tiger, so we'll play that. And again, it's Lotus Cobra, and just going on in the same order as it's always going in. We're making it very difficult with the plant tokens here. And now getting into Shared Animosity, don't mind playing that one bit, so let's play the Shared Animosity. Play the Birds of Paradise, might as well at this point because we made a bunch of extra mana. Makes it more difficult for our opponent to point Jitte at things. And yeah, time to see if they've got a board wipe for us. Kthar's Crusade, they get off the top with Outpost Siege. I don't think they're going to make much use out of that. Yeah, our opponent was a great sport as well. Got two good opponents in a row. They decided to play it out and see what they drew into. You never know, they could have gotten into a board wipe there. Dryad of the Elysian Grove for us couldn't necessarily have done anything. We would have played Blighted Woodland and exiled the Harrow. Probably played that off the top. Would have gotten us into... Well, we would have shuffled, but might have gotten us into Avenger and a Mountain. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say that we were going to win that one. But it's nice to have it confirmed by looking at the cards on top that we may have drawn into. I think those were two good games there to show off Phylath World Sculptor. I think I might take this deck into the multiplayer room. You'll have to let me know if you want to see that. Might have to change a few things up because I think the curve is fairly low for multiplayer, as is typical with 1v1 builds. But yeah, let me know if you all want to see that. And don't forget to leave the video a thumbs up if you want to push the video and the content through to other viewers. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.